let's take a look at some of the starting pitching that the Guardians have. They've added some interesting depth to it. Bybee, Luis Ortiz acquired in the trade in the offseason. Lively back. You got Gavin Williams. Then a couple of the veteran guys. Jacob Junis. Slates Coney is young. They got him in the trade for Josh Naylor. Logan Allen, Joey Cantillo. Shane Bieber, John Means, a veteran guy that they signed. He's coming off Tommy John, as is Bieber. McKenzie kind of working his way through some arm issues the last couple of years. And Doug Nikhazy, a young guy. Let's welcome in Paul Hoynes, who is in Arizona covering the Guardians spring training for the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. He's the Guardians beat reporter. Hoynesy, the one thing I like, they've got a lot of numbers, and usually you need to throw a lot of numbers at starting pitching for a major league roster.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Dave. They went through 29 pitchers last year, 14 starters, and it was 30 pitchers if you count the appearance by Austin Hedges. So the more pitching you have, the better. And they've really tried to build that. That's been a goal of theirs since the start of the offseason.
So you saw the guys that are fighting for it. The bullpen looks really good again, and it's going to need to be without question. You've got Class A. Paul Sewald, who they signed, has experience as a closer. You got Smith, Gaddis, Zabrowski, Heron, Walters, young guys who were pretty successful a season ago. What do you think of the veterans they signed? And Hoynesy, I've pointed out a couple of times, Class A was 47 to 50 save opportunities. Everybody else in that bullpen, which was really good, was 6 of 19. I think that's the reason you spend some money and get Paul Sewald.
Yeah, and Sewald they added him to kind of just to lengthen that bullpen out. Dave, when you look at the number of appearances that those four guys, Heron, Gaddis, Class A, and Cade Smith made last year, they all pitched over 80 appearances. So that's a heavy load. So you need a guy like Sewald to come in there, a veteran guy. And I think you see Junis in the bullpen a lot more than you'll see him as a starter. I think that's the main, his main role is going to be in the pen. He's going to take the role of Pedro Avila. I think, a guy that can do anything. He can pitch long, he can pitch short, he can pitch in leverage situations, and he can also start if you need him, mid-season or something like that.
Do you like the veterans they brought in? I mean, John Means probably won't be ready until August, I'm guessing. His Tommy John surgery he was with Baltimore was pretty good. Was a little later. And then Bieber, they threw a bullpen, his first bullpen, 15 pitches. It looked good. What do you think of just from all accounts, they got a lot of guys that can pitch and have got major league hitters out before.
Yeah, I think you like the experience, and they're kind of cornering the market on guys coming off Tommy John surgery, and you don't know exactly when you'll get them back. It started with Matthew Boyd last year. That was a successful move by the organization. They got Boyd right at the end of his rehab from Tommy John with the Tigers, and he pitched very well for them with down the stretch and in the postseason, and he turned that into a 2-year, $29 million contract with the Cubs. So when it's stuff like that happens, it's like a drumbeat throughout the big leagues. The injured pitchers are going to look where to the organizations that perhaps can turn them, can help them and create a second career for them. And I'm sure that's what Bieber and John Means are doing.
What do you think about Ortiz? That's an intriguing guy, young guy who kind of was a split guy. Started some, pitched in the bullpen, but was really good when given the opportunity last year for the Pirates.
Yeah, he really, moved into the rotation after the All-Star break full time. He's a big guy, Dave, a big, 240, 250 pounds. He's been out in Goodyear here for most of the winter. They've been, Stephen Vogt has been very impressed with him. So yeah, I think when they made the deal, the first thing out of Chris Antonetti's mouth was he's going to be he's a member of the rotation right now. So that has to tell you something.